Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. If you guys are new, welcome. My name is Dina. Today we're going to talk about a tarot deck that I have been absolutely loving and I've been so excited about, and I actually wanted it for so long. I had such a difficult time getting it. It's ridiculous, the story. I swear the universe just didn't want me to have it, but I'm like, I need to have this deck because it's just like one I've had my eyes on for so long. I recently got the Modern Witch Tarot, and there are so many reasons why I would highly recommend this deck, and I really wanted to talk about it in this video. I'll give you guys a timestamp if you want to skip this little pre-explanation. Yeah, basically I wanted this deck for so long and I couldn't find it anywhere in stores. It was like sold out everywhere. So I found it online. I found it on Amazon and they didn't have it at the time with Prime. So I'm like, okay, whatever. Like, I just want this deck. I will pay for the shipping. I don't care. So I found it with relatively cheap shipping. Like, the shipping wasn't, my hair is just like crazy. I don't know what it's doing right now. So I was like, okay, I'll order it. I can't find it in store. Usually I like to support the local stores first. Like, I'll go to a local spiritual shop and I'll get it from there instead of Amazon. But if I can't find it, then I'm gonna order it online. So much time goes by and I'm like, where's my deck? And I'm waiting and waiting for it. And I was gonna do a video with it actually like quite a long time ago because I was gonna do an update video like recent decks that I got, and I was holding out for that one and I filmed part of it and I actually ended up deleting the footage because I just got so fed up with how long this deck was taking to get to my house. Yeah, so I'm like, okay, what's going on? I feel like it should be here by now. So I contacted Amazon or the seller, and they're like, yeah, like, but based on how much time it's been, your deck most likely was lost in the mail. We will send you a replacement one. So they sent me a replacement one. So I'm waiting for this replacement to be delivered, and I'm like, okay, how long is it gonna be? And they're like, well, 10 to 20 business days. I'm like, okay. It's kind of annoying because I already waited like almost like probably like well over a month actually. And I'm like, okay, well, I hope it's not gonna be that long for this one. Again, a lot of time goes by, it gets well over 20 days. And meanwhile, like, they have no tracking number for the seller. Like, there's no way to know where it is. You don't know if it's on the way. Like, it's kind of frustrating. Like, I wouldn't care so much if I actually could track the package, but I couldn't track the package. So I'm like, I don't know if it's coming or not. So I contacted them again. They're like, yeah, like, based on the amount of time, it looks like your replacement deck was also lost in the mail. I'm like, seriously? Like, what kind of luck is this? But anyways, they're like, well, we can send you another replacement deck or we can just cancel your order. I'm like, okay, no, just cancel it. Because at this point, like, while I was waiting for this replacement deck, I noticed that the seller now had the deck available on Amazon with Prime shipping. I'm like, couldn't you just like switch me to the Prime option? Like, the only reason I ended up paying for the shipping and doing it this route in the first place was because Prime wasn't available. So I'm like, you know, just cancel it. Cancel the replacement. I'm like, I don't care. Just give me a refund. I'm going to order it with the Prime. So that's what I ended up doing. It still took longer than Prime is supposed to take, but I finally got the deck. But this is like, I'm talking like, it was quite a few months to get this deck. Like, it was really frustrating. I want to talk about basically in this video today why this deck is so amazing and why, like, if you are a beginner tarot person, like if you're just starting to learn the tarot, why this one is definitely like a really good option for you. So first of all, I just want to say the box is absolutely gorgeous. If you're traveling, it's probably not best to travel with the box just because it does slide out really easily. So like, you have to like hold it from the bottom, but it is a gorgeous box. I love a nice solid tarot box. I'm not a fan of those little like the tuck boxes that are really breakable and they get all bent up and stuff. Not a fan of those. That's like what the original Rider-Waite is in, but I'm not a big fan of those boxes. I love a good solid box. I just want to quickly talk about the book first. So the book is just like amazing. I love a good solid book, and I've never had like a hardcover like little book like this for a tarot deck before. It is in black and white. It's not a colored book, but they do give you a good amount of information in here, and it has like obviously all the descriptions, but it also talks about like the major arcana. It has an introduction. It has some card spreads in there, so it's a really nice book. It's really pretty. I love the design of it. Then we have a little adorable card that she gives in there with a really nice message on it. It says, you are a badass being full of life, love, and possibilities. Through this deck, may you find a path to your best self. And it's just like a little message from the author of the deck. So I think that's just really cute. I think the best thing to do is maybe just to focus on the major arcana. I'll show you guys those cards, and then I'll just maybe show you some other cards that stand out to me, because to go through every card of the 78 cards in the tarot is just like a lot. All right, so let's start with the major arcana. So actually, before I get into that, I just want to say that The reason I was so drawn to this deck, the reason I love it so much is because it is so inclusive. It's so modernized. And if you guys look at like the old Rider-Waite-Smith tarot, although it is amazing, it's what started the tarot, right? Like it's where hundreds of tarot decks originated from. Pamela Smith's artwork, and it was appropriate for its time, but we're in a different time now. We're in a more inclusive time. We're in a multicultural society. There's more faces than white faces. There's more hair colors than blondes. Like, it's very white dominated deck, the original tarot. The thing I love about this deck is it's very inclusive of different skin tones, hair textures, sexuality, body shapes, body types. Like, it's so inclusive and it's so modernized, and I love it. If you're someone that's new to the tarot, they always say, you know, start off with the Rider-Waite-Smith tarot deck because its imagery, it's where it originated, right? So it's the easiest way to learn the tarot is starting with one of those decks versus something that's a little bit more modern and abstract. For example, like the Wild Unknown Tarot would be a very hard deck to start learning off of, which is what I did, and that was a mistake. If you're someone who's just starting off, if you get the Modern Witch tarot deck, it's basically like most of the images are so close, if not like practically the same to the old Rider-Waite-Smith tarot deck. Like you got the same images, like the same messages there. They're just tweaked a little bit. They're tweaked so they're more inclusive. They're tweaked so they're more modernized. That's what I love about this deck. So this is like an amazing, amazing starter deck if you're just learning the tarot, like absolutely amazing. So the first card we have is the Fool. And I just love this card. She's just so carefree, and it's almost like kind of like a hippie-ish dress, and she's listening to her phone or her iPod or whatever it is. I just love it. I love how fun and carefree it is, and I love the color scheme. Then we have the Magician, which is the cover of the box, and that card is just like, I love it. I absolutely love it. I love her dress. I love how they actually have the similar colors with the dress and like the cardigan type thing. It's very similar to the original tarot. Then we have the High Priestess. Again, another woman of color, but you know, like she could be of different possible ethnicities. I love the variety of skin tones here. We don't have just like one type of brown or one type of black or, you know what I mean, one type of curly hair. You'll see in this deck that there's so many different textures. I love it. She's sitting with her laptop. You'll notice in this deck that there's a lot of modern technology, which I really like. Then we have the Empress, one of my favorite cards. First of all, like look at her outfit and her jewelry. She's just like, oh my goodness, she's goals. She's beautiful. And look at her hair. We have an afro in this card. I love it. I just love the inclusivity. So absolutely beautiful card. Then we have the Emperor, and in the original tarot, the Emperor is a male, but in this deck, it's a female, and we have very, like, there's a lot of feminine energy in this deck. It's definitely a very feminine dominated deck, but at the same time, it's like blurring the lines of what's feminine and masculine. I feel like a lot of these cards are a lot more ambiguous. Like this could just be a more masculine woman. I love the ambiguity of a lot of these cards. I think it's amazing. So that is one of them, but there's so many cards like this. Then we have the Hierophant, and we have a woman that's more curvy, and we have a lot more curvy women in this deck, which is amazing. Again, like the original tarot, like everyone's slim. There's like one body shape, right? We have so many different body shapes. Then if you look in the bottom corner, there's someone with some short pink hair. Like there's just so many different styles in this. I absolutely love it. And then the Lovers. This is another, I feel like, example of ambiguity, because in the original card, we clearly see that there's a man and a woman, but in this card, it could be a woman and another woman that just isn't super curvy, or it could be a man. When the original tarot, it only portrays lovers and couples and relationships as male and female, which the community wasn't as accepting of different sexualities. But we're in a society where we're way more accepting of different sexualities, and it's important that all different relationships get represented. And I think anyone could, you know, relate to this card. Anyone with any sexuality. You know what I mean? Obviously, we don't have two males, so that's one that's not super clear there, but there are decks also that have, you know, homosexuality more clearly shown. But I do like how the person in the purple is a little bit more ambiguous. Like we don't actually know if that is a woman or a man. Then we have the Chariot, and we just have this woman who's just a total rock star. She's got some short hair, she's on a bike. I just love it. Again, it's a very modernized card. Then we have the Strength card, one of my absolute favorites. I think it's just so beautiful. I love her hair. her wild curly hair. It's so beautiful. Not completely the same as my hair, but I feel like I relate to this card a lot more than some other cards in some more, you know, older decks. Then we have the Hermit, and the Hermit was, I believe it's a male in the original tarot, but we have another woman here. So it's a very, again, woman dominated deck. So if you're like someone who's like pro, like feminist, fighting for equality of like body shapes and skin tones, just like, you know, I think this is just like the perfect deck for that. And I love how like the Hermit, she's on her laptop at home. Again, it's just like a more modern portrayal of our society. Then we got the Wheel of Fortune, which is also like just super cute. I love how they have different hair colors. Like this girl's got this funky turquoise hair, and I think that's just so fun. And then we have the Justice card. Again, we have like some different styles, different body shapes. I absolutely love that. Then we have the Hanged One, and this is something that's very, very clearly different from the original. The original says the Hanged Man. I love how she's made it more unisex, right? Like, I love that. It's not just about men. You know what I mean? Like, I just love how she made it the Hanged One. Not even the Hanged Woman, the Hanged One. Anyone could relate to that. And then we have the Death card. It's very, very much similar to the original. I'd have to do a side-by-side comparison. Yeah, we've got an elderly woman here, and I love how there is a portrayal of the elderly in this deck too. It's very inclusive of different generations and stuff. We have the Temperance card, and we've got a woman with some beautiful locks here, so that's absolutely amazing. We have the Devil card, and again, some ambiguity here. Like, the person on the, like, honestly, the left and the right could be a male or a female. It could be two men. It could be two men, two women. The person on the left definitely looks a little bit curvier, but I mean, there's different body types. Some men have some booty. I mean, there's nothing wrong with that, right? So I really like this. Yeah, I like the ambiguity of that. It's not super, super clear. And then we have the Tower, very, very much similar to the original card. I don't remember the girl being impaled in the original, but I love it, and I love the color. I have to say, one of the things that definitely drew me in with this deck is the color, the vibrance. And oh, I didn't even mention this. I do want to mention it now because you can't tell through the screen, but these are like basically laminated. Like, they're smooth, they're like plasticky cards. They're not like cards. So like if you dripped a little water on it, you could wipe it off. Really, really good quality. And I don't think I actually showed you guys the back of the cards either, but the back of the cards are really nice. And you can kind of see with the light that the shininess, they are plastic basically. So that is really, really awesome. All right, so this next card is very clearly like different than the other one. We have the Star, and we've got a curvy woman, and she's got a bush. And I find it, like, first of all, it's amazing that they did that, because like I feel like there's an expectation that women always have to shave, and I'm like, if you want to shave everywhere, like, by all means, shave everywhere. I think that to each their own. Like, do whatever makes you comfortable, but you shouldn't feel obligated to shave, right? No one should feel obligated to shave. Even your legs, even your armpits, like, no one should feel obligated to shave their body because of, you know, societal beauty standards. I also find it funny, though, because I feel like it was a lot more common for women to look like this, like, back when like the original was made, but she's clean shaven in the original versus like now I feel like being clean shaven is a lot more popular. But I mean, I think that's amazing that she did that. Again, inclusivity and like just changing the whole beauty standard. Okay, and then we've got the Moon. Again, another like, it's a slightly different take on the card. I also failed to mention this because I just completely forgot, but in the original Rider-Waite Tarot, there's dogs in the Moon card, but in this one, there's actually women with wolf masks. Also, instead of the creature being like the scorpion, it's almost like some sort of like sea monster, mermaid women or something. So I don't know, I just think that's really, really cool. And then we have the Sun. That kid's just like loving life. Very true to the original card for sure. Just a different color scheme, and I do really like the colors there. Oh, I just want to throw in there too, I didn't mention, but the deck that I'm comparing it to isn't like the original, it's the Radiant Rider-Waite Tarot. The images are the same, but the colors are slightly different. I don't have the original. I found, honestly, the colors, the images, it didn't do it for me. I don't like it that much. Then we've got the Judgment card. Again, very, very similar to the original, but a little bit different. We got some different body shapes there, which is amazing. And same with the World. We have another different, like, more curvy body shape. So I think that is absolutely beautiful. I want to talk about some other cards in this deck that really stood out to me, and then we'll wrap things up. Nine of Cups. I think this card is just so adorable. It's so cute. and I love her dress. I love her hair and her headband. And then we got the Two of Pentacles. Again, I love it because we have another type of curly hair. And I think that's another issue with art and just like a whole bunch of things is like lack of variety with drawing curly hair. I feel like a lot of artists struggle with drawing curly hair, and this is one thing that always drove me crazy about The Sims. Like, I love The Sims, but they have the worst selection for curly hair unless you want to get into like using mods and stuff, which I never did because like I felt like I was gonna mess like my computer up or my computer couldn't take it because it was kind of slow. But like the selection for hairstyles for hair that I could actually relate to was always so crappy. I'm like, can't they like figure out how to do curly hair? Like, these people are making mods and like figuring it out, but like top tier like workers that are working on these games that have like literally a career in this area, they can't figure out how to give me better hair texture. Like, it's so annoying. It's like I either need like to have a fro or like really short like curly hair. I can't have curly hair that looks like me. And obviously when you play Sims, like often you want to make a Sim that looks like you, and I can never make a Sim that looks like me. Skin tone too. I can never find a skin tone that actually matches my skin tone. Queen of Pentacles. Girl, like this is queen. I love her dress. I love her hair. Like, she's beautiful. I love this card so much. It's just like black girl magic right here in this card. I love it. It makes me so happy. All right, so then we have the King of Wands, which is normally a male, but it is clearly a female, but she's a little bit more masculine. Maybe she's a lesbian, maybe she's bisexual. We don't know. We accept everyone, and that's what I love about this card. It's just like, there's so many cards like this, and I think that's just amazing. Like, let's get women of all shapes, sizes, orientations, everything. So I love that. And then we have the Knight of Swords. We have a black man or maybe female. We don't know. It looks a little bit more like a man to me, but it could be like, honestly, you can't really fully tell. You can't. And again, like the following one, Six of Pentacles, we have very dark skin, like very deep dark skin, and I love that. It's so beautiful and amazing, and with the contrast with the bright like orange colored dress and stuff, like such a beautiful card. And then we have the Eight of Pentacles, and I like this because it's more modern work. The original, he's got like a hammer and he's like nailing something, but like she's working on her iPad. Like, maybe she's a graphic designer, maybe she's, I don't know, whatever she is. I just think that's so cool. Then we have the Three of Pentacles. I had to put this card in here because again, we have a curvy woman. She's got a bush. She's posing for like an art class or something. The woman's drawing her. Then we have Six of Wands. Just another really cool hairstyle and, you know, just like style in general that I wanted to spotlight. I think that's so cool. Oh my god, this next one, guys, is like, yes! This artist hit like every single topic, and this is amazing. For the Queen of Wands, they painted a woman with vitiligo. I think that's amazing. Her skin is just, it's beautiful the way it is. She's got a skin condition, but she's rocking it, and I think that's amazing. And like, the world's gotten a lot more, you know, accepting of these things. Like, there is that model, and forgive me for forgetting her name. I'm not really good with names in general. Like, I just suck with like celebrity names and everyone in general. There's that supermodel for, I think it's Victoria's Secret, that has vitiligo, and like, it's become a lot more mainstream and accepted. But I just think it's beautiful that there's a card representing that group of people, because I've never seen that on a tarot card before. So I think that's just amazing. And then one last thing I want to talk about. So she actually has a double in this deck. For the Ten of Swords, she actually has a card that is the exact same, except it says everything is fine. And that's just kind of like her take on the Ten of Swords. And if you look in the original tarot deck, you know, the Ten of Swords is kind of like rock bottom. It's like, it can't get any worse from here. It's only up from here. But it's a very interesting take on it. And whether you decide to use the Ten of Swords card or the Everything is Fine card is up to you. I pick one or the other, and then I kind of just keep the other one out of the deck so I don't have two of the same card in the deck at a time. Anyways, guys, yeah, I'm just gonna wrap it up because I don't want this video to get too long. But oh my god, guys, Modern Witch tarot deck. If you guys are new to tarot, or even if you just love tarot decks and you don't have this deck yet, I highly, 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 highly recommend this deck so much. It's such a beautiful, inclusive deck. I'm gonna end this video here. I hope you guys have an amazing day. If you guys enjoyed this video and want to see more videos like this one, make sure you guys hit that subscribe button and the bell notification so you know when I've uploaded a new video. And I hope to see you guys soon. Have a good one, guys. Bye-bye.